If you try that, you will make this for yourself a couple times a year.
Hi everyone, I'm Chef Judy Joo.
What's up, Delish? It is your boy, Adam Richman.
Hey friends, it's Chef Millie Peartree here.
Hi everyone, this is Ashish Musuri speaking.
Hey everybody, Andrew Zimmern here.
Hi, I'm Chef Burrell.
I'm here to show you my super simple, easy scrambled eggs.
What's up, Delish? It is your boy, Adam Richman, coming to you from my home in the epicenter of New York City in Brooklyn, New York. This is how I make arguably one of the first dishes I ever learned how to make from my great aunt Dan, scrambled eggs. I think a lot of times we think of them as these sort of hard, rubbery, nasty things we get, maybe a little bit browned, but with a little bit of technique, a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, and a little bit of skill, they can become fluffy and delicious. We have 4 eggs. And we have a large bowl, and we have a whisk. Now the whisk is important. You know, a lot of times people will just use a fork, and that's fine, but you can get a lot more air into the eggs with the whisk, so that's what I prefer. First thing we're going to do is crack these eggs. Try not to get too much shell, as I clearly did, so let's get that out. I have honestly done this before. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure that the yolks and the albumin are completely incorporated nice and smooth. One thing that I am going to do is throw in a little bit of milk. I find that it makes it a little bit more velvety. And then I tilt the bowl. What you want to try to do is create a little bit of a pocket, almost like you're doing an oval or an ellipsis. First, you want to make sure it's even so there's no streaks of yolk running throughout. When you get it nice and frothy, you're going to get nice fluffy eggs. Okay, nice and frothy. Now, one of the other tools you're going to need for this is going to be a silicone spatula. Now, why silicone? Especially if you're working with non-stick, it's going to be really beautiful and gentle when you sort of have to start working with the eggs. First, we're going to get the pan to temperature. So what I like to do is get it to about medium heat, and then we're going to eventually drop it to about medium low and then take it off the heat. In the meantime, I'm going to season our amazing fluffy eggs with some fresh cracked pepper, some salt, and then we're going to go back and whisk to incorporate. And that's kind of this beautiful fluffiness you're looking for. All right, so the pan should be coming to temperature. So I'm going to do a combination of butter and oil. So that sizzle means our oil is ready. We have our eggs. I'm going to add them to the pan, and first, just leave them alone. So now what we want to do is actually let the eggs set for a bit, and then using our silicone spatula, we're just going to take nice sweeping strokes across the pan, gather the egg that's kind of done, and then keep going in sort of a slashing motion, and you're going to get these beautiful curds, these beautiful folds. So if you were going to add cheese, this would be the point to do it. And so we can see the eggs are starting to set. So what I'm going to do is take them off the heat. Just using the residual heat that's in the pan, I can let these eggs finish and get them exactly where I want them. Take our eggs. So there you have it. Delicious, steamy, gorgeous scrambled eggs. Nice, big curds, fluffy, not rubbery. Really light, really airy, a little buttery. Just delicious. It's amazing breakfast, and it really just shows that with a little bit of temperature control and a little bit of technique, how the most simple of ingredients can really just sing.
Hi everyone, this is Ashish Musuri speaking. I'm going to show you how to make my favorite tamagoyaki. Tamagoyaki means egg, but I need wash your hand first, okay? Birthday, Chef Morimoto. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me. Dashimaki means egg with the Japanese dashi, Japanese broth, made from dried kelp and then dried bonito. I already have the made kombu stock. Then this is the dry bonito. Okay? Way before boiling. If you like to like this, please. Nice book. Yes. This is a kelp and then dry bonito. We call Japanese dashi. Don't squeeze a lot. We have 4 eggs. Okay, baking egg. So 1 teaspoon light soy, 1/4 cup dashi. So dashi from this. And then so you better cut the white part. Okay, shiromi. Don't make a lot of bubble inside. It's better use a chopstick or more single, maybe forks and something like this. And then this is a special pan called tamagoyaki. So I'm gonna make some rectangle. So this is vegetable oil. Don't put the whole things, little by little, maybe 4 or 5 times. See? See? Oil. Then this goes to the other side. See? Then oil again. And then we have extra tamago to the underneath and the front side. And then this part coming to my side, near side, like this. See? First and second, that's okay, I told you. Then, see? And then oil again. One more time. See? To this end. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3. Here you go. Then so this is my favorite Japanese tamagoyaki called dashi maki, egg, dashi, sugar, and soy sauce.
Hey friends, it's Chef Millie Peartree here. I'm here to show you my super simple, easy scrambled eggs. First, we're gonna start with a pan on medium low. We're gonna take about a tablespoon of butter. So let me tell you about these eggs. So I actually started my cooking journey by making eggs. I knew I had an affinity for cooking when I cracked my first egg at 6 years old. So this is very nostalgic for me. This is very reminiscent of my childhood because I just felt like I wanted to become a chef once I cracked my first egg in the pan. So I'm happy you guys can actually follow me on this journey and go back to my childhood, some years ago. So the traditional way of making scrambled eggs is you crack eggs in a bowl, you whisk it and beat it, but I don't necessarily like it that way. I kind of like the egg white with the creaminess of the yolk. Like that combination just does something to me. We're going to take our eggs, I'm going to crack it directly into the pan. We'll take our fork and we'll break our yolk. Then this is the time where I like to actually season my eggs. I add a little bit of salt and I add some pepper. We're going to scramble in the pan. So it's kind of like we're going to fold it together. We're going to go around the sides and we're going to continue to fold, fold, fold. And you could totally whisk this with a whisk. However, I would suggest that you use a plastic or some kind of coated whisk versus the metal directly into the pan. So another trick for super creamy eggs and very rich eggs is you add a little bit of butter to the actual mixing process of it. So eggs are one of those things that you don't want to rush it because we don't want them tough. We want a nice consistency and we like them nice and smooth. Now, I'm more of a soft scramble type of girl. So this is where we get a little bouge with it. I like to use my microplane, another kitchen tool that I love to death because you can zest, you can shred with it, you can grate with it. We're gonna add some cheese to our eggs. So now that we got the eggs at the consistency we like, we're just gonna add this to our plate. And there you have it, my super simple scrambled eggs with Gruyere cheese. Okay, so let's give these eggs a taste. Nice and loose the way I like them. You see the combination of the egg yolk and the egg white? They're just creamy and rich and delicious. They have enough salt, cracks of pepper that comes through. They're just creamy and smooth and delicious.
Hey everybody, Andrew Zimmern here. I'm actually going to show you two ways. One is Saturday morning, gotta get the family fed. The other one is Sunday morning, I'm alone in my kitchen. The first way that I'm going to show you is one that's fairly common. It results in firmer, larger curds. Depending on how much you like to stir them while they're cooking, that will determine all the other factors in your scrambled egg. I use black pepper, and I always season before whisking well. I always like a little extra fat in my eggs, and I'll put like a teaspoon of heavy cream. I have a preheated pan on very low. And I don't know, I'm guessing that's a scant tablespoon, and let that melt. If you preheat your pan too hot, and I'm a big pan preheater, and you throw your butter in, and it melts and separates too fast and starts to burn, it's not good for your scrambled eggs. And so you can see the butter's melting, but there's no foaming going on. In general, the theory is, the slower you cook your eggs, the creamier they will be. Foaming, bubbling, some nice thermal momentum. I want the egg to solidify in the heat. And then I want to be able to take my spatula and push cooked egg, as you see, around the pan, letting more egg come in contact with the heat source. Even though this is the fast way, it's still just going to take a minute or two. But if you're patient, the results are a much creamier scrambled egg. You can see that I have some of those gentle, softer, pillowy curds. Now that's also because I have a tablespoon of cream in there. Some people don't like that consistency. I take this off of the heat and put a nice pile of pillowy scrambled eggs. A little bit of chive or scallion on there, which I think is delicious. A piece of toast. I mean, they're perfect, right? It's a perfect scrambled egg. Okay, so then super slow. It's not a 3-hour egg, but it's gonna take about twice as long. Again, just a teaspoon of cream. You can omit that. And for this one, I'm gonna put a little bit of my scallion and let that melt. Except this time, we're not turning up the heat to medium. We're gonna do it over to low the entire way. And it's just gonna take longer to come together. The curds, the bound pieces of egg, are going to be more uniform and smaller. So therefore it's gonna have a much silkier, pillowier texture. There's just air bubbles in there. I mean, this has been sitting for about 30 or 40 seconds, and I bet there's just the barest amount of curd, if any, cooking, because those cold eggs are just coming up. Yeah, there's yet to be a curd formed, and we're 45 seconds in. Some people, when they cook 3 scrambled eggs, they'll be done in 45 seconds. They got such a hot pan, they just stir it all around. That makes a very firm scrambled egg with lots of big curds. This is so much fun. And then at a certain point, that thermal momentum becomes sufficient. You just push those back and forth. Soft, pillowy curds, and it's not even gonna return to fill up the pan. So you can see the progress that we're making. By the way, I do wanna point out we're about 10 minutes in, and this has probably got about another 4 minutes to go, I'm guessing. The results are gonna be amazing. Look at how pillowy and soft these are. Can you imagine having 6 children and having to do this? It's why you don't. You keep this skill a secret. This is for yourself. These scrambled eggs are fully cooked. They will get firmer because you're just going to evaporate more moisture out of them. But they're hot and they are beating up in those tiny, tiny little curds. So elegant. Now this is not to everyone's taste. If you try that, you will make this for yourself a couple times a year. They're just absolutely out of this world. Scrambled eggs 2 ways, regular and super selfish style.
Hi, I'm Chef Ann Burrell, and today I am making some super sexy, soft scrambled eggs with mushrooms and fontina cheese. Hello. Anything with an egg, I'm a fan of. So, I have some cremini mushrooms that I have sliced, and I'm gonna start off by cooking these first. Remember, our scrambled eggs are gonna cook really quickly, so anything that you want to put in them, you need to cook ahead of time. And I'm gonna put the mushrooms in without any oil or anything right away. I know, what? Have I lost my mind? Mushrooms are mostly water, so if we get the water to cook out, then we get a really nice browned mushroom, and then we add a little bit of oil in there to get them really nice and roasty, toasty, golden brown. We give them a sprinky-dink of salt as well. That's gonna help pull the moisture out. And then we're just gonna build our scrambled egg dish right on top of those guys. I love a one pot anything. I have some beautiful farm fresh eggs that I got. I'm sheltering in my little town, and there's farms all over the place. There we go. Eggs. 1, 2, 3, right in there. So whenever I cook eggs for just scrambled eggs or omelets or anything, I always give them a little bit of water. What? Water? Because this will help the eggs get nice and fluffy. Milk has milk solids in it that will brown, and I want fluffy, light, lemony yellow looking eggs, so I'm gonna use water instead of milk. This does an excellent job of combining the egg whites and the egg yolks. Beat them up nice and fluffy. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to this. And I'm gonna add about a couple of teaspoons of olive oil, just for that fatty deliciousness. So you see, my mushrooms, look at, have started to get nice and brown. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. And I like a nice golden brown mushroom. That tells me that I'm gonna get a true mushroom flavor and not a soggy boiled mushroom. There we go, just go. And always when you're doing this, use a heat-proof rubber spatula. All right, and just get mixing. At this point is where I'm gonna bring out the big guns. So I'm gonna grate that right in there. Fontina is a cheese, and it's Italian cheese that melts really nicely. It has sort of a mild flavor, and it has a great melting consistency. Check this out. These guys are done. Oh, yeah. And we are ready to eat. I'm gonna finish them up with a little chive, just because I love the chive flavor. How? But so delicious. Fluffy, mushroomy, cheesy, and that little like poke of oniony chive right at the end. I mean, this is more than just breakfast to me. I would eat this anytime. I'm Chef Ann Burrell. Enjoy your sexy scramble.
Hi everyone, I'm Chef Judy Joo, and today I'm gonna show you how to make some super creamy, light and fluffy scrambled eggs. And that starts out with, of course, some eggs. And I put a little bit of salt in them, just some sea salt. And I'm just gonna whip these up. And the secret is actually with a little bit of heavy cream. So I'm gonna put that in, and that is what makes scrambled eggs so luxurious and creamy. Then I've got a non-stick pan with a bit of butter. So I'm gonna melt this butter in there, mix it around. Got a bit of oil, that's all right. Got my scrambled eggs in. Now the trick is that you want your pan hot enough, but not too hot. Once it starts to set, you're gonna use a spatula and you're gonna mix it around to get the nice curds, because that's what you're after. And I have some cheese. If you don't wanna put cheese, that's fine. Either Emmenthal or Parmesan is great. And also I have some chopped herbs. These are finely chopped herbs. This is just a mix of some chives, dill, and tarragon. And it's done in no time whatsoever. I like mine a little bit wet and runny. You should stop when it's a bit wet and runny, actually. And you got some nice big curds there. It's creamy. That's it. And that just takes 2 seconds. That is a really nice, creamy, luxurious scrambled eggs. Thank you so much, Delish. If you want to learn more recipes like this one, please check me out on Instagram at Judy Joo Chef. And if you want to take things one step further, please consider making a donation to the Tory Burch Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delish. To follow more of my recipes, follow me at Chef Millie Peartree on Instagram. Or if you would like to do more, please follow my Essential Meals Initiative. The link is in my bio.
If you want to catch more food content from me, follow me on all the majors at Adam Richman. If you want to check out some of the new food content I'm doing on YouTube, go to Adam Richman's Quest for the Best. And I encourage you to support some of the great organizations that I do, the Bowery Mission, No Kid Hungry, and Clear Path for Veterans.
Thank you so much. Delish from a recipe of mine like this. From my cookbook. Check out Iron Chef Facebook and the social media. Thank you. Stay healthy. See you soon. Thank you very much. Dashimaki!
Thank you. Delish.com, AndrewZimmern.com for all my recipes, at Chef AZ on Instagram, at Andrew Zimmern on Twitter. Scramble on.